Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this afternoon edition of Sweet Dose. I have the lovely Virginia here. Some of you may recall, if you followed along last year, I spoke with Virginia about her multiple sclerosis, the last MS Awareness Month of last year. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn it over to you. You can do your intro, tell people, whatever it is that you want them to know to start off with. The floor is yours.
All right. So like Miss Mia said, I am Virginia. I was diagnosed March 23rd, 2021. So I am coming up on year 2.
Okay, that's right. Because I'm a year ahead of you. I was diagnosed March 2020. So you're
So I'm here in year 2. And yeah, like MS be MSing. Like
oh, girl.
God.
So tell me from last year to this year. I told you, I've kind of made you aware of some of the changes that have occurred with me. For some people that don't know, I'm fully disabled. I no longer work. I relocated to Georgia in September to live with my uncle to have a little bit more help. So, what has changed from last year to this year that you want to talk about?
A lot, right? So one of the things I like to mention is MS progression, right? And the scale of MS. Especially as women, as Black women, this thing impacts us totally different, and we're all diagnosed on different portions. So I'm not fully disabled like you, and my heart goes out because it sucks. It just sucks.
It trust me, in the beginning, I've had my ups and downs, you know what I mean? Like, I've had my moments where I'm just like, why? Like, me, why? Wanting to get down on myself. But at the end of the day, I realized that for whatever reason, this is my purpose. And my purpose is, I can choose to allow it to completely consume me in a negative way, or I can try and find the positives from it, and meeting women like yourself, and educating others on the disease so more people could be made aware of it, and they can get treatment a lot sooner than, unfortunately, when it comes to us, because us as in Black women, we are, and I mean, this goes back to the systemic issues that we have in policing. It also affects healthcare. And unfortunately for us, and it's proven, we're diagnosed a lot later. And I don't know if it's because our symptoms aren't taken as seriously, but as a result of that, that's why Black women that have MS tend to have a lot more disability than our white peers, because we are diagnosed a lot later. So anyway, the floor is yours. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but
that's so good, right? That we have that type of conversation, because when you are diagnosed, those things run through your head, like, how long have I had this? What does this look like? What does the future look like? So for me, this year has been trial and error.
Are you still not on a DMT, or are you on a DMT?
So I tried a DMT for 3 months.
Okay.
And I got off of it.
What did they have you on?
I took Copaxone. Okay. So I decided to do Copaxone, and my insurance company screwed me over because, it's supposed to be 3 times a week. My insurance company, like, nope, we want you to take it every day for about 3 months, and then come back and we'll boost you up to. I'm like, so, but I did it because I don't know if you remember, you talked to me when I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And after that incident, I started losing my vision in my left eye.
So you had optic neuritis?
Yep. So that was kind of my scare and my push to go on a DMT to get that extra support. But being on a DMT for me, and I can only say with my journey, it was a lot of emotional baggage of injecting yourself every day, dealing with the symptoms that come with it, because it is a medication.
Right.
And one of the things that I just didn't like was my hair started falling out.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, I don't even have the energy to do my hair. And then now you want to fall out. I don't got time for this. So I sat really long, really hard with myself and my significant other. And I decided that I don't want to do the DMT route. That just wasn't in my spirit.
Right.
And from October until January, I wasn't on a DMT and I was feeling the best I felt.
That's good.
So what happened, right, is I decided to get a job. And I decided I decided to go back into the classroom with the little ones and, try to get myself back to where I was before I got this diagnosis.
Right.
And what happened was wintertime in Michigan, and all of these babies are sick. And my immune system just kept crashing. Right. And by the end of January, my immune system and MS was fully out of whack.
Is that 2023
or this is 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So this was recent. This wasn't last January.
Nope. This was 2 weeks. Yes, this was 2 weeks ago. I was out for like 2 weeks because of the illness. For one, I think I had like this mega flu, whatever was going around in Michigan. And then the recovery from being sick, as you know it, when you're sick, you have to recover from the MS being out of whack. Right. So this was about 2-3 weeks ago that I was down and out, and it was very, very hard because I thought, all right, I got this. I feel better. I got this managed on, without the DMT. So I'm doing good. So let me pick my life back up. Let me try to get back
over.
And my body was like, nope, we're not doing that.
And when you say nope, not doing that, like tell us what type of symptoms or what was aggravating you that would not let you get back to how you were before?
So the first thing is getting sick, right? So our immune system is already compromised. And I started the job, I think late December. All of January, I was sick. The whole time I was sick. So battling with an illness, and then MS, my MS symptoms are fatigue, headaches, and my left side of my body is my weak side. Okay. So I actually had to resign from my job because by the time I got that flu, my left side was giving out on me. Right. And I'm like, no, we're not going there, because that means I got to go to the hospital and I don't want no steroids. Like, nope, so I had to make a decision. Right. And I had to prioritize my health over the normal life that I used to have.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest adjustment though, for a lot of people, is you have to adjust to a new way of life. Your old self has almost, I don't want to say died, because it's not that freaking morbid, but part of you, that part.
But it feels like it. Yeah, it feels like it.
It does. And that's why we have the ups and downs with the roller coasters, with dealing with MS, because you really, it leaves you with no choice to accept this new body that you're in. And to me, the longer that I tried to ignore that and not listen to my body and thinking that I can do the things that I still did, 5 6 years ago, ended up aggravating stuff even more. So you really have to get to a point where you have to accept this part of being your life, but also knowing that your life is not over as a result of MS. You know that, right?
Right. So it's like you said, you have to get to that point.
Yeah, and we all come to it at different times,
and
you just might not be there yet.
Right. Me being me, I try to fight against it continuously, and your body will remind you who's the boss. That's just what I preach to a lot of people when I talk about the health, when I talk about prioritizing your health. If you don't prioritize it, your body will make you.
Oh yeah. Like, you'll have a serious wake-up call.
You will wake up and you will be in a position that you don't want to be in. Mm-hmm. So fast forward to now, the luxury of not working is I get to travel whenever I want. And let's talk about the symptoms with recovering, right? So the things that I have to do is rest. Like a lot of rest. Like
rest, you're not, and a lot of health. You need to also make sure that you're taking care of your body internally and eating the proper things to feed you can either, there's a saying, you can either feed the disease in a positive way, or you could feed it in a negative way. So you're at that point where you're trying to feed it the positive way, right?
Exactly. So I have a full regimen of when I'm sick, and then I have a full regimen of when I have to recover. So I restrict my diet completely from any processed meats, foods. I try to go as strict as plant-based as possible, and I just rest. Rest, hydration, fresh squeezed juices.
Right.
I just rest. And it's a hard reality for me because I'm such a go type of person. But I know if I don't rest for those days, I'm out. Like it's going to linger on. So I might as well just take these few days.
Well, that, and I mean, you really don't want to end up with another optic neuritis issue.
Because that was scary.
Yeah. So you know me, and I think part of it is just because of how progressive my disease is at this point. I know you say you don't want to get on to don't want to be on a DMT. Did you talk with your neuro about a possible different DMT that wouldn't give you those same effects that Copaxone did?
So I don't like my neurologist.
And we talked about that. We talked about that last year. And what homework did I give you? What did I say to you, Virginia?
I tried to find another neurologist, but it is so hard in Grand Rapids.
Girl, we had this talk last year. Look, now I'm gonna be big sister me and get on your ass, because I told you last year, you said, I can't stand you need to find a new neuro. That's one of the issues right there.
Yes. And I tell people a lot of times, my maturity shows, right? My age shows when I'm dealing with this. This is the first thing I've ever dealt with in life. Seriously. So like the defiantness and wanting to fight against it and wanting, like, is all there. But then also I'm just now coming to the point where, Virginia, you can't live that life no more. Like you can't reach that life again. You got to let it be what it was, and you have to create this new life. And I think with trying to battle with everything else, I wasn't prioritized. That's how I ended up in the hospital. That's how I ended up with, and I can admit to that. Like I wasn't prioritizing my health how I should have been. And I wasn't like changing my neurologist. I wasn't doing the steps that I was supposed to be taking because I was trying to keep living like I wanted.
pre-diagnosis, Virginia.
Like, I'm like, I don't want this to be my reality. I don't. And that's another thing. I don't think no one really talks a lot about is the mental state that it puts you in, because it's the depression is heavy. The anxiety is heavy.
It's a huge burden that weighs on you, that
every day.
Unfortunately, people that don't have it, they can sympathize to a certain degree, but they will never fully understand what it is that you go through on a daily basis, because they're not in your skin. And even and it kills me when people say, oh, well, my sister-in-law or my,
and I'm pretty sure they don't tell you everything,
you know, like, oh, she doing good, she does it. And I used to get frustrated with those people, and want to react in a, not like, just react to them and chastise them, like, I dare you, like, you don't know. But they don't. You almost have to give those people grace, in a sense that you just don't know until you go through it. You just don't know. You just don't know.
And it's a battle. It's a really big, and it's a hard battle for me, because I'm such an independent person. I like to have my freedom. I like to make money how I want to make money.
Right.
I can't do the job that I went to school for. Right. So now it's like, okay, well, how do I progress? How do I live? Because MS didn't take me out, so I still have to figure out how to navigate through life. So it's a lot of prioritizing, and it's a lot of sacrificing if you want to live in this. So that was my whole year. My whole year was trial and error, sacrificing, trying to figure out how to prioritize my life, trying to just skate through it. Like, I be trying to skate through it, and then it throws this monkey wrench, and then I'm like, oh, well,
and then you end up having a relapse.
Yeah. And it's like, I really, after this last illness, because like I said, it had me, I don't know what flu was going around in Michigan, but it was bad.
It kind of went around in my house. My uncle got it, then I got it. And then my little cousin, well, he's not little, he's 36. He's little to me, because but then he ended up getting it. So definitely something has been going around. And also too, people don't realize, COVID didn't go away.
It didn't go away. It didn't go away at all. Like, we still is trying to balance out this immunity where everybody is at. So it's just, that put me down enough that I was able to really be like, God was like, Virginia, wake up. Stop playing. Like, you're playing right now. And I really had to be like, yep, so worker is probably not in my description anymore. So we're going to put that to the side.
At least for now.
At least for now.
And because even me, with them fully disabling me, I tell people, I'm not, don't count the, what is the saying? Don't count me out.
Don't count me out.
You
don't count me out.
God works in mysterious ways, and he could fully functionally give you or give me back certain things that we don't have right now. And I think it just kind of makes us a little bit more appreciative of those things,
of life completely. Like, it's, even as frustrating as it is, I know I walk through life differently now. I appreciate the things that I can do. Like, every morning I appreciate waking up and I can see.
Right.
And it's
2 feet. You can put 2 feet on the ground and you can walk.
And I can walk.
Yeah.
And even when my leg, because this left leg is the first thing that gives out when I know I'm going down a bad
Yeah.
road.
You're
So
left side. I'm right side. Mine's my whole right side is shot.
yep. See, that it's my left side. So, and so that's the other thing of realizing that we're in two different progressive stages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you said, it's a health disparity.
Yeah.
Because if we are diagnosed earlier, then the lesions don't get to pile up and they don't get to just be
We
sitting
wouldn't
there
have
chilling.
as much disability as we have.
Mm-hmm,
Absolutely.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I went from, now mind you, when I finally was diagnosed in March of 2020, I had gotten to the point where walking was difficult and painful, and I was holding walls with one arm and had a crutch in the other, and you know, but I was still walking, to this point now where I'm in a chair. It was very difficult for me to like you said, you kind of got to let go of who you were before and have acceptance of this new being that you are. I definitely had some dark moments,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had I had some moments where, I had some tough conversations with God, and I was not suicidal. I wasn't to the point like, okay, I'm gonna go blow my brains out.
Right.
Um,
It's
but
just really dark. Just
very
very,
dark.
very dark.
You're dealing with insurance companies that, and I mean, and this part kills me. This is actually something that I really want to work on, because it is mind-boggling to me that we pay hundreds of thousands of dollars into health insurance funds every year. If you have it through your job, you're paying a part of it, and your job's paying the other part of it. Well, what I've now had to experience since January of this year, my job, they paid for my insurance. I was very fortunate. I worked for a really good company. But come July, I almost will be out of work it'll be 2 years. So starting in the end of January, I had to start paying my own insurance, and I had to take on Cobra.
Oh God.
Which it's very expensive, but me paying for Cobra coverage was better than me going through the medical exchange. Yeah. So my insurance for my health and dental insurance every month, it's a $743 I have to pay. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Ooh.
The medical exchange, because that's the other thing that they don't tell you. You don't qualify for Medicaid until you're officially 25 months approved for disability and out of work. So I won't hit that mark until the summertime. So from January until then, I have to cover it on my own. And Virginia, last week, was it last week? Yeah. No, the week before last. I literally wanted to go through the phone and strangle. I'm serious. Because the pharmacy, because I'm on a monthly DMT, Tysabri, it's an infusion. The pharmacy, all of a sudden, they didn't want to send me my medication because they wanted proof that I had Cobra, which I understand. Okay. I said, okay, I get that. You want to see? I sent that off to them. Then after sending that off to them, then they say, okay, well, we need to see that the premium was paid. I said, okay.
It is active. Oh, okay.
So I'm trying. I'm like, okay. Here you go. Here's the screenshot of my payment. You can see paid through for the month. Do you know this lady still wasn't trying to send me my medication? She then calls my insurance company to ask them if my insurance is active. Okay. The insurance company, they couldn't talk to her because of HIPAA laws. So they had to call me and talk to me about it. And they could see that everything was active in the system again. So she said, and it wasn't my insurance company's fault. So the lady from Aetna, she says, okay, well, let's call the pharmacy. I'm on the phone. I'll let them know your policy is good. We got 10 minutes, gonna cut us off.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So we call. This lady is still, mind you, Aetna, my insurance, is on the phone and telling her that I'm good, I have insurance. She still wanted some other proof. And so I lost it. I said, I said, let me tell you something. I said, you guys didn't have this requirement when I had a big corporation like Booz Allen behind my name. Now, all of a sudden, I have to pay for my insurance and I have to go through all of these steps. Not even that you guys have sent me something that I haven't paid for. You know,
like you're just not randomly asking for this medication. I said, who wants MS medication?
Right. I said, you know, for the past week, I've been trying to get this straighten out with you guys. Every time I call you, you keep moving the goalposts as far as what you need. I said, let me tell you something and let me tell you what is getting ready to happen. I swear to God, if I have a relapse because you don't send me my medication, I'm going to sue the shit out of your pharmacy. And I promise you, I will own you when it's over.
I know
but you shouldn't have to do that.
You shouldn't have to do that.
You shouldn't have to do that.
But you do.
I mean, I hung up the phone and I have not had a cry like that. I mean, I cried from my soul because like, damn it, I'm tired of fighting for every goddamn thing.
Everything.
And it's absolutely ridiculous that, you know, you would have thought that this lady, that this bitch
it was coming out of her pocket.
Hello. That's how she was acting. But
right.
I'm like, here, I got to get ignorant because of how the requirements that you're putting on, girl.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, no,
they called me. Somebody called me back like 20 minutes later. They said, Miss Sweet, your medication will be there in the morning. It's been FedExed. But I should not have to go through that. Because one of the number one reasons that we have relapses is because of stress. I should not have to go through that to get my medication. But insurance companies are allowed to do it. And it made me sit there and think, what about the people that don't advocate for themselves? What about the people that can't stand up for themselves?
That part.
I'm like, the insurance company has been running over them. And I'm like, in addition to that, I mean, I look at the mental state. I mean, I lost it. And financially, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. But there's a lot of people that aren't good. You know,
so what are they going to do? What are they doing?
Right. And those are the people, honestly, that end up taking their goddamn life.
Yeah.
Because they're tired of fighting. You know,
everything. You wake up fighting.
Right. You're in pain. You know, you're having to deal with the day-to-day symptoms that change here and there. Hey, Matus, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm on an interview call for MS Awareness Month. Okay. Bye. Sorry, that was my best. But it made me think, like, there's a lot of people that aren't me.
Yeah.
No, you know, and they don't have that voice to stick up for themselves.
Yeah. And it's so, and that's the frustrating part that I run into when, like you said, give people grace, you know. So I try to give those around me grace, right? But for people to really understand, I need people to understand this is a battle that I can't even describe some days.
Right. Yeah, because you still trying to figure it out yourself.
And moments like that, that we have to sit here and pull up our bootstraps to get adequate service.
Right. Right.
That's draining. Like I am trying to avoid the hospital so much because every time I have to go to the hospital, I got to argue with these people.
Right.
I always have to argue with these people. And then in the back of my head, I get the same thing. What about the people who don't have the energy or the voice to advocate for themselves?
Yep.
What about them?
And sadly, those are the people that kill themselves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Really,
people don't realize. I want to say multiple sclerosis had the highest rate of depression and suicides.
Factual.
Amongst people with
chronic illnesses,
autoimmune diseases, because of it, because it's complexity, and everybody's case is so different, so that's like one of the things that, I'm not working, but I do want to start kind of putting some energy and some awareness into that issue, because I can only think about, the people that don't have the voice of what they end up, you just feel like you don't, like you give
you're
up.
alone.
You just feel like you're alone. You don't have, you just feel like there's nothing that you can do. And it's sad. It's sad.
And it's hard. It's hard. And I think one of the things that helps me just keep pushing by is, like you said, there's a reason. I ask why all the time. I cry about why me. Out of all my mother's kids, out of all my cousins, out of all my friends, like, why me?
Yeah.
Why? And I have a good support system around me that reassures me, but it still is hard because you wake up and unknowing what's about to happen
for the day. Yeah.
For the day. And you may even wake up and you like, my dang old leg don't move. So now whatever you had planned, you got to revamp that as soon as you wake up.
Yeah. Well, I've taught my uncle the spoon method, right? We got about 2 minutes and it's going to cut us off. So I'm going to wrap what I'm going to say up quickly so I can let you close. But I've gotten my uncle adjusted to the spoon method. And the spoon method is, I might have 5 spoons today. I might have 2 spoons today. But once those spoons are used, ain't shit else happening from me for the day. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
So he'll, like I'll put a load of clothes in the wash in the morning, right? And he'll put my clothes in the dryer and he'll put them on my bed. But before he puts them in my bed and takes them out of the dryer, a lot of the times he'll say, "You got any more spoons left?" Because he knows, like, when I go back to my room, if it's on my bed and I don't have any spoons, I'm going to be sleeping with the clothes on the bed. So those are little techniques that I've learned to teach people to kind of understand where I'm at. So anyway, I'm going to let you wrap up, say, give your last, your thoughts, something that you really want people to be aware of this MS Awareness Month. The floor is yours.
So for people with MS, find you a great support system. You need great, solid people around you. And for people who have someone with MS, be present, learn if you can learn. And that's even a quick Google search will tell you all you need to know about how this person is dealing with. Because I think the conversation needs to keep going, and we still need to have these candid conversations to help us navigate through this. Because I'm a researcher and I follow the research, and just more and more of us are becoming diagnosed because now they're realizing, like, oh crap, this look different in Black women.
Yeah.
So get you a solid support system. and make sure you're loving on those people, even in those dark times, because we need it.
Yep. Well, I thank you for sharing your thoughts and coming on here with me today. I'm going to be in your inbox. And look, last time I didn't give you a timeline. I'm going to give you a timeline. You got till the end of March to find yourself a new neuro, okay?
Okay, I got it.
Okay. I'm serious.
I love you.
Love you too, baby. Thank